Alright, today we're going to check out one of these parts bikes and see if we can't get this thing to crank. It needs a lot. As you can tell, the fenders, they're gone. The tank is shot. That lid especially. It needs a pull rope. Somebody's jacked up the shifter. Also, it needs a camshaft. I think I have an extra one somewhere. I pulled the CDI cover off and it looks like it's been rained in for quite some time. Like I was saying, the carburetor's missing. There's no telling what's going on down in that intake. Lid to the air box is gone. There's supposed to be a plastic tube that runs through the center of the frame for the air intake, and I think it's gone too. The chain cover is gone, missing a hub. I'm gonna pull the rear plastic off. There should be a lever over here. Let's see what we can see. Yeah, everything from here to the carburetor or here to the head's missing. No bolts in the tank. I expected that anyway. No CDI box. Electrical. They cut all the wires. The plug-in for it's gone. Oh yeah, matter of fact, it's right here. I think they went from a square and was gonna do a round conversion. Probably had more round plugs laying around the house. So the pulse generator's missing with the camshaft, as you can tell. The mechanical CDI is gone. The rotor magnet's gone. This one's even got a motor mount missing. But that date's there though. Look at there. That's the last year they made the blue 110. The other one, I found that it was an 83 model. The first year they made it. The coil is gone. There's the wires for it. Of course, no front fender, no headlight. I haven't even checked the oil yet. It's full. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's full and it's clear. I don't know if it's clear water or clear oil, but with no camshaft. I'm pretty sure it's got some water down in there. I don't see no milk, but it's somewhere. Yeah, we're gonna throw a carburetor on it. See if we can establish another running motor. I'm gonna let my cousin adopt this one. Also, that wasn't the coil wire, it was the headlight wire. And here's the coil wire. It was one of them big fat round ones that bolted to the frame. I have a few of them inside. I checked with my voltmeter. I got a couple good ones and one bad one, but I hadn't marked it, so I'm not real sure. I'm gonna have to check them all again. This one's got a spark plug and it's tight. So I still don't believe it's an original. Yeah, the brakes aren't going anywhere. Yeah, let's see what we can do with this. Well, anyways, there you have it. That's the gist of it. We're gonna get to work now. So with this bike needing everything, luckily over the years of collecting, I've stockpiled quite a few pieces, and I guarantee you I will need one of everything before the end of this journey. Uh, Mechanical CDI and rotor, the camshaft. We got round plug CDI boxes, electrical. We have the pulse generator and the back plate for it. OEM Honda pull start pull handle. Uh, that intake hose, I'm not 100% certain that's OEM. It is to some bike, but it may not be to this one. That pull start does not go to this bike. As you can see, it's completely round. I mean, it'll bolt on, but with it being round, it goes to the 83 model. This is a 84. If you look real close, you see this little notch right next to the neutral indicator. The original pull start casing had that built onto it, but like I said, since that round gasket, it'll still accept this one. That's why I like Honda. They're so interchangeable. You can use just about any part on any bike. But there's one issue with these mechanical CDIs. If you don't get, they're not all the same. If you look closely, they got part numbers on them, and if you don't get the right part number for the right bike, it's not gonna be properly timed. And all these need springs. As you can tell, I need the springs. I don't have any spare springs right now. I'll have to order me some. But yeah, I got the parts together. It won't be long, and we'll be trying to get spark and then see if we can't get it running. Okay, so I'm ashamed to say this, but I have no idea what that is. And I know what it should do, but I don't remember what it's called. If somebody does, can they give me a hand and let me know in the comments? I believe it's some sort of magnet that when the flywheel rotates, there's another piece on the flywheel itself that's supposed to, you know, rotate by that, and I would imagine it sends a signal to something, but I'm not 100% sure, because the pulse generator, when the cam rotates, it rotates that rotor right here, and it's got a magnet on it, and when it passes by the pulse generator with that magnet, feeds a signal to the coil, tell the coil to feed a spark to the plug. But if that does all that, then what does this thing do? Perhaps for the electrical components, such as the headlights, taillights. Like I said, again, I'm not 100% sure. So if somebody knows, please leave me a comment. Let me know what it is, what it's called, and what it does. I do know that this flywheel is rusted to heck and back. I'm gonna have to clean it up, that way it can get that signal we're looking for to do whatever it does. This flathead cover right here allows you to look inside if you don't have your pull start off. But in this case, I have a pull start off, and I'm still gonna pull that bolt out. That way you can get right over the top of it. Now there's a F for fire and an S for start, and to go ahead and do your timing, you're gonna want to align your fire with that notch right there. If y'all can see that notch, if you line it up with that notch, and then there is a dot, I believe it's supposed to be on the camshaft sprocket, and I think they're supposed to face each other. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think so. But we'll get to that eventually. We're gonna start out with this pull start. We'll re-rope it, get it ready to get put back on. I'll go ahead and knock that out of the way. I'll still leave it off, that way I can freely rotate the crankshaft by hand. I believe it's a little easier that way. So for a chain cover, I have another bike. It'd be the fourth one out of the group. It's most definitely a 100% parts bike. You see, there's nothing left of it. I have a chunk of the fenders, but somebody put wood to try and support that thing. So that made the rear plastics weigh all of about 70 pounds when they should only weigh close to 10, 15 max. But see, we're going to use this chain guard for that other blue Honda. Maybe a few other things if I have to. Yeah, like that front motor mount right there. That's definitely coming over to the blue one. And I'm not sure that there's even a cam sprocket in the blue one, of the head of the blue one over there. So if I have to, I'll come get this one out of the red one. Yep. Original toolbox, but the lid's missing. They could fabricate one. The wiring on this thing is ridiculous as well. Spark plug in there. Yeah, that's probably an original. It even has the chain cover. We don't have any front fenders for either of these blue ones. They bolt up differently than the red ones do. They bolt from the side. The red ones bolt from the top. Maybe the top and the side. Okay, I was wrong. They both bolt in from the side, but the mounts for the blue fender are up higher than the ones for the red one, so it wouldn't work if you try to swap and paint it. You're gonna have to find an OEM front fender for both these blue ones. I have a extra headlight bezel It just slips back right down in there. But yeah, let's get started. Let's get started on this pull string. You're going to want to take this C-clip off. Careful not to let it fly away on you. Always try and stage these things in the order you take them off. You know, so C-clip. Then you got a washer that is grooved, especially for this shaft, so you can only get it right. There's no wrong way. Okay, and now you have this cover plate. It's got, you see these notches here. Those notches allow these here to spring out instead of holding it all in. If they didn't have them grooves, it wouldn't, you know, contract and retract. Anyway, this one, it doesn't look like it's ever really been messed with unless somebody really cared about it, put all the parts back. Most of the time you only see, you know, 2 of these and 1 spring. Yes, these are a sort of spring. Go ahead and pull them out. You can pull them all out at once, or you can take them all out individually. I only have one hand right now, so I'm doing it one at a time. Okay. Set that out of the way. Okay, so now we have a spring. That spring, you know, it keeps the tension pushed out on this plate. With that there, covering these allows them not to pop out of place, but it's not too tight to where they won't spring out like they're supposed to. But anyway, once you get that spring out, one more washer down in here that you need to get out. Sometimes it's hard, but since we can flip it over and get the whole guts and everything out of it, spring's seen better days. It's a little rusty, could use some grease. Anyway, you cut you a nice section of rope, 36 inches to 4 feet. Now, you don't want to go over your head when you're pulling it. Be aggravating. Anyway, get you a lighter and go ahead and prep the end of this rope, because it's going to be hard to get inside the part that holds the rope. So always heat it up and make it sharp, you know, pointy. That way it'll go where I want it to. Alright, so stick this back in there. Let it set down on the spring. Okay, it's fighting you. Go ahead and wind that thing up. Keep in mind, keep it pushed down the entire time. Only wind it as much as you think it needs for the rope to retract all the way back in. If you go any more, you could break that spring, or, you know, wind it up so tight that it pops pops itself out of its little holding place. But we'll get one more rotation. Actually, no. We'll go with what we got right here. Now I'm gonna put that string through there. Alright, so take the end of the rope that you heated up with the lighter and try and fish it through the hole that the rope goes in from the inside out. Alright, so you get it through there. I recommend using some sort of C-clamp or whatever you can use to hold this thing still, because once it gets wound up pretty tight, it's a booger to hold still and try and feed this rope at the same time. So I'm gonna grab my flathead, push the rope, push the rope, push the rope. I should be seeing it any second now, but I'm not. Where is it going now? Keep working that rope through there. So once you get your rope fed through the pull string hole, go ahead and make you a couple knots so it won't get sucked back through once you get all that tension gathered up. So I typically do about 2 knots. That ought to hold it. Go ahead and pull it all the way on through. Lay the excess down. Give it a good once over. And then start letting it go back in. Alright. Still tight at the end. Get your rope slid through the handle. Pull you out a couple inches. Do you a knot or 2. Again, I would go with the 2. Way it don't get sucked through the handle. And trust me, I've had one of everything happen to me. So let that go back in there. The knot slides inside your Honda handle. Pull starts good. Now we'll put the I don't really know the proper term for these, but I've heard people call them dogs. If you know the proper name, feel free to let me know. I'm interested in all the knowledge I can take. But yeah, set these down in, and as you can look and tell, this is a rounded edge and this is a flat edge. That rounded edge goes down. Okay. Once you got that in there, you start hooking up your springs. Now they're hooked down. You won't use out. So hook it in the hole. Hook it in the second hole. The next one, same hole as the second one, into the third one. Now that third one goes from the third one back to the first. Once you have that, I believe that's correct. So we're gonna go ahead and put our bottom washer back in. Get that excess rope out of the way. Alright. Remember, these washers can only go one way because the shaft has a flat spot on it. The washer's a little sharper on one side than the other. I'd put that side down, just so you make a good flat contact surface. Probably should have put these on last. Then you got your spring. Put your spring on there. And then you have cover. Now you line these notches up with the dogs, whatever you want to call them, because that's where they fling out to grab the inside of that flywheel. So you set this over the top, push it down, hold it down. Second washer, again, it's got that notch in it, or that flat spot. Finally, your C-clip. Get that put on there, and there you go. I probably should have put some grease in it, but it's just to show y'all. I'll probably go back and add the grease later, but for now, this will do it. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Tomorrow we'll get started on working that cam in and getting the timing corrected on it. We'll put a coil on it and spark plug and wire, pulse generator and a CDI box. We'll see if we can't get this thing to fire up. If you want to get notified when we put new videos up, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's evening.